Jerome Powell just cracked the door wide open for rate cuts. Trump is unloading on Fed governors, and shorts are getting obliterated. And that is the understatement of the world. The stock market is ripping, and this could be the start of the next unstoppable bull run. If you've been betting against the market, you're about to feel real pain. Let's break it all down here. And if all of you remember 2022, when a certain Fed chair said something very similar to this: shifting balance of risks may warrant policy adjustment. Who said that back in 2022, and what happened afterwards? Oh yeah, Jerome Powell, when he said the balance of risks has shifted from tightening to pausing monetary policy, and that was November of 2022. The market absolutely ripped up 30-40% higher from there. It created the most unstoppable short squeeze to have ever existed in recollection of recent times. It created the craziest market, and after falling 22% this last April, everyone was basically saying the market is going to end. The tariffs are going to end. I was telling you all to buy NVIDIA at $85 a share. I was telling you to buy Google, Microsoft. Microsoft's up 300, and look where we are now. That is the most beautiful candle in existence. If you are a bull, if you are a bear, you are petrified. And what makes this even sweeter to the point is the net short positions are actually adding on. They're adding on to their short position. They were so convinced that Jerome Powell was going to come out and crush the market, not realizing that Jerome Powell is going to be a lame duck in about 2 weeks when Trump announces the next Fed chair, because he has openly said that he doesn't like Jerome Powell. He's attacking the Fed governors, and we'll get into that in just a second. And also, there's a certain company reporting earnings this week, and you're shorting the market as it just obliterated your positions. In 2 hours, poof, all your positions gone. Absolutely gone. Zip, nada. You couldn't even, you got the NASDAQ to a weekly lower low. You couldn't even get it to the 50-day moving average. You, the bears, that if you're out there, you made a higher low. QEE, you failed. You failed to hold the weekly lower low, so now it's a failed weekly breakdown, setting up to be one of the most insane rallies. Oh, wait. Also, the Russell hit a new high for the weekly high, which is basically small caps that have been lagging for the longest period of time. And let me just throw this out there. Oh, RSP, weekly higher high, so the broader market's actually running while the leaders are taking a little bit of a breather. As we head into the one and only NVIDIA earnings that you failed actually to make a weekly lower low and hold it, as it's about to hit $5 trillion prior to earnings. Good luck stopping that one. And this is just the beginning. And if you guys are missing out on this, go buy more. Like, I can't make this stuff up. It's just absolutely the most simplest thing. The S&P is still giving you a discount, right? So before everyone says, oh, it's too expensive, in a week, this thing's going to be like $660 most likely. Again, not financial advice, but you're heading into NVIDIA's earnings. Okay, you missed the S&P. The NASDAQ actually barely made a weekly higher high, right? Or failed weekly breakdown. We're seeing 571.97. It was 571.57, 40 cents. So you got this whole region right here to make a crap ton of money as we're heading into NVIDIA. Go buy NVIDIA. Oh, let's say you don't like NVIDIA. Well, Google just trying to break out at the weekly higher high, heading to new all-time highs. Microsoft at the 50-day moving average. All of you complain that you can get Microsoft at 300. Now it's at 500, and you're still complaining you can't get it. So I can't help you there. I can only tell you that this is an amazing opportunity to buy more. Meta is even bouncing off the 50-day moving average, weekly breakdown, gap filling its last earnings. So for when all of you missed out on that crazy $2 billion, $3 billion beats by Meta, it's giving you that price again. So stop complaining and go buy. Even Berkshire Hathaway, that had a bit of a turn, had a nice rebound off the 200-day moving average. Palantir also hitting that 50-day moving average, the rotationary point that I was expecting to basically hold. So Palantir is really cheap right now, guys. Like, I'm giving you all these companies that you can basically go. Even AVGO, right? AVGO sub 300 down to the 50-day moving average. Again and again and again and again. Even if, as much as I don't like Apple staying above the 200-day moving average. Again, talking about OpenAI integrating it with Siri. They're not going to make their own AI. So that'll be a separate video coming out. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. But we just went through so many companies, even like Netflix, right? Netflix failed to hold the 50-day moving average, so I'm basically saying this could be kind of a cup and handle forming right here, but you have to watch this one carefully. Especially, this could be a dark horse that kind of comes out of nowhere, so keep Netflix on your radar. But you know what is falling like a cliff that the bears are screaming bloody murder about? bond yields. And yes, we are heading to a new lower low, especially when the treasury market is pricing in not one, not two, three rate cuts for December. Heading into Nvidia's earnings, as Powell basically talks about, the jobs market is softening with demand. He says it's in line, but the situation suggests downside risks to employments are rising. Again, he also was quoted as saying we need to act preemptively. So downside risk to the labor market is rising, meaning rate cuts. And Donald Trump obviously threw it out, and he said that you should have cut a year ago. Again, the banter, we're not here to discuss the banter to the endless times. It's very, very fun, but we're also here to discuss how you can make a absolute shit ton of money this week. And I just gave you 7 companies you can go invest in at dirt cheap evaluations right now as we head into Nvidia's earnings. And this is just going to be the sweetest. You all think 16 of you think to the upside while 18 of you think to the downside. Can I buy your shares, please? Because I would love, hey, if you want to just give me those shares at the current price, yeah, let's just I'll take them. Come on, just give them here, because you have lost your goddamn minds thinking the video is gonna miss. Like just flat out thing. We're gonna be covering and streaming it obviously on Wednesday, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel for that. But I'm gonna be laughing to the bank when these 171 short positions absolutely get screwed to no ever ending hell. And PCE is next week, by the way. So have fun with that one after NVIDIA. So let's see if we actually have any expectations. Jerome Powell's speech was very, very interesting. And also all the turmoil with Fed governors also props up a very interesting question for the market. Do Fed governors actually have the same protection as the Federal Reserve Chair? Again, that the Federal Reserve Chair is appointed by the president, but also the Fed governors are not. They're elected. So how's that all going to work? Throw it in the comment section below. We're going to be discussing that in tomorrow's video a little bit more in detail and seeing how all that plays out. But again, new home sales, comparable to goods, consumer confidence next week, Atlanta Fed, we don't really care anymore about you. And then crude oil inventories, Barkin speaking, but GDP preliminary print expected for Q2 at 3%. Mwah, absolutely beautiful, along with PCE prices coming in on Friday. Right now, core sitting basically fat for PCE. And PCE regular index 0.3. So basically a flat PCE number, which is very reminiscent because Powell knows these numbers before they come out. So I don't think he's going to give out this speech or type of dialogue if the market is not ready for a good PCE number, and he can use that to kind of shift his position to rate cuts. And then he also said the effects of tariffs on consumer pricing are now clearly visible. Maybe because he knows the number that is coming out next week. I expect effects to accumulate in the coming months. Basically, if you get flat PCE, he's going to attribute it to the tariffs and therefore green light to rate cuts on the Fed. Traders add bets on Fed interest rate cut in September. No crap, Sherlock. And then Fed Powell, the reasonable base case is that inflation effects on tariffs will be short-lived. So now, as your term's ending, you want to be the happy-go-lucky guy as we're heading into NVIDIA's earnings. And then also mention it's possible that tariff drive upward pressure on prices could spur a lasting inflation dynamic, but is unlikely given downside risks to the labor market. So basically just blaming the labor market for everything out there that there's no jobs created. And I can personally attest to the labor market is absolute garbage crap right now, because if you try to apply anywhere, good luck getting an interview, especially at a white collar job or anything. But you guys aren't here to basically banter about white collar jobs. You're here how to make more money than anybody else. S&P about to break to new all-time highs. Self-explanatory. Break above 646 is the exact same weekly levels that we gave out last week. The NASDAQ, well, you could have expansionary territory, but I'm going to basically say you need to be above 571 or 572 to really capture that bullish momentum for the NASDAQ, especially going to NVIDIA's earnings. NVIDIA, what could it do? Because we're going to be talking about it extensively. You don't want to come anywhere down to this 168, but that was massive buying opportunity there if you missed out on it. This thing probably going to breach 190 before earnings because everyone's going to be piling into this thing, thinking the world is about to end because stonks only go up. Even Intel right now having The support of the US government went from $19 a share to $24 a share. I still think NVIDIA is a better, AMD is a better, AVGO is a better, SMCI is a better buy than Intel because they just mismanage their business so much. Again, I know I'm pissing off a lot of viewers that like Intel on this channel, but I just simply don't like the company because of how they've managed their business. Bitcoin, with the news off of Powell, absolutely ripped off the 50. So 130, 150, here we come. And we're going to get there in a bloody fast hurry. Oh, and guess what? Santa Claus rally coming around sometime soon. So explain to me where we're going to find the bearishness in this market, because I have looked far, I have looked near, and I have looked in the fear and greed index. That is scary for the bears. And why is it scary for the bears? And I managed to get this all into 10 minutes for you guys, so thank you so much, and throw a like on the video if you wouldn't mind, please, and thank you. 61 means I can crank this thing all the way up to 100 because the market still owes me that hundo, that 99, 97. I don't care what you want to put there. I just want to see a big fat 9 something in front of the fear and greed index so I can make fun 9 jokes and also just see the bear scream bloody murder, because watching this many short positions that are out in the market that, again, just this week, when I saw this number, I was just oozing with joy. 171,000, you're basically adding to your losing positions and you're about to get creamed, and you probably won't close it until NVIDIA's earnings. So NVIDIA short squeeze, here we come. I want to see the GME stock bros down in the NVIDIA comments section on earnings. I want to see you guys in the stream. So check out the latest 2 videos linked over here along with the Discord on the top left, and I'll see you guys in the next one.